Hey guys, it's Chelsea or BGD Flowers. I have not made a video in such a long time. My last video was at the start of the year, which is, wow, really very bad because it's now June. But I have been doing a lot of dolly stuff. I have Ainsley with me and my fairy character who I have had for 8-9 months now, and she still doesn't have a name. I really need to get onto that. If you have any fairy suggestions, like fairy name suggestions, please let me know. I'm desperate for a really weird and unique name. I'm thinking of just calling her something drug related, because in the story, Ainsley actually, this is probably not good for a younger audience, but Ainsley actually does hallucinogenic drugs, and she hallucinates the fairy character. And I feel like Ainsley would just nickname the fairy character after the drug that she takes. So, but that's a whole other story, because I've changed a lot about my story. It's still got that magical witchy vibe to it, but it's a lot darker, it's a lot grittier. Ainsley is actually a drug dealer with a character called Lyndon, and there's a lot of tension between different drug dealers. And if you can hear the washing machine in the background, I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, there's lots of tension between all of the characters, and very high stakes. And what ends up happening is Lyndon and Ainsley steal a whole bunch of drugs, blow hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of drugs, and they don't have the money to pay Ricky back, which is their, I guess, drug lord. They don't have the money to pay him back. So they go on the run because Ricky is out for their blood. I have also kind of thinking about introducing another character, which means another doll. I have yet to decide what sculpt or flesh out this character, but her name is Stevie, and she is Ricky's partner. And she is best friends with Ainsley, and she's actually in love with Ainsley, but she's hooking up with Lyndon on the side. And Ainsley and Lyndon are dating, and Stevie is hooking up with Lyndon to get close to Ainsley, and she thinks somehow that will work, but obviously it doesn't. Anyway, Ainsley and Stevie end up they don't end up dating, but they end up closer by the end of the story. So that's all story updates. I want to talk to you more about my dolls. So I have Ainsley here with me, my soul doll Freya head on a long soul MSD body. I love her so much. I gave her a face up, so hopefully you can kind of see. This is not her wig, this is not her final wig, it's just because I'm so very poor that I cannot afford anything extra for my dolls. They're in poorly made, homemade clothes, and just so that they can be covered. I do have a pair of leggings here that she was sporting for a long time, but I wanted a bit of a change. I feel like she'd rock a skirt, which is not too bad. It's not like a terrible skirt, it's just not hemmed, and the top was gaping a little bit, so I just needed to tie it together. And this fabric frays really easily, so that's a bit of a bummer, but the top is horrendous. Please ignore it. But I gave her a face up. I'll just take off her wig so that you can see. She's got elastic on her head to keep the wig on, but you can see her face up. She's got a little dangly earring coming down, and she's got a little piercing here and a nose piercing here, which is all attached with Mod Podge. And she's got winged eyeliner, and she's got that smirk that I so love. She turned out a little darker than I intended. Like, her features are very, like, her makeup is very dark. For what I wanted her to be a little bit more natural. Like, I guess, like, a little bit like my makeup that I'm wearing now. Barely any on, and just, like, a touch here and there. But, no, she was telling me, hey, if I'm going to go out clubbing all the time, I want winged eyeliner. And, I want to look as intense and intimidating as possible. So please do that. So I'm like, alright, Ainsley, let's do that. So, oh gosh, that's what I get for putting a wig on when I can't see it. Even that's not that much better. Okay. Anyway, that's Ainsley and all of her updates. I love her on this body. Her head does feel like it's a little, like the neck feels a little too long. Like in photos and whatnot, like in person it doesn't look so horrendous, and the resin match is like, can you stop being all blurry? The resin match isn't that great, especially since I did her face up. But that doesn't really, I don't care. Like, that doesn't bother me, like, at all. I don't care. But yeah, I'm really happy with how she's turning out. My next goal is to get her wigs and eyes that actually match the character, because she does not have this hairstyle anymore. I feel like she would prefer to sport maybe like a little bit of like a side fringe like this and a little bit of a bob cut or something. I still feel like she'd have like the undercut. I really feel like that's such an Ainsley move to like have an undercut, but yeah, she needs a better wig and better eyes. These are just the standard Soul Doll eyes, and they're not the color of her eyes. Her eyes are supposed to be like a muddy green-brown. So she's gonna sit over there. Next, I have here my fairy character, who has gone through a fair transformation since the last time you've seen her. I will take off. I made this wig myself out of wool and feathers, and the top is braided, as you can see. Oh, you can't quite see because it's a bit of a mess. This wig has been through a fair bit. But I did her face up. She's got some tattoos, and she's got trees growing on her face, which you can't see with her wig on. So I want to like kind of have it come down more on her cheeks and more on her forehead here, and do like a little bit more on her. But I'm quite happy with the face up. I think she looks really good. And again, I literally tied these clothes to her body. Because I felt like if she's like a woodland, she's a woodland character, where she's like frolicking in the woods. Well, she doesn't frolic. She's not a nice character. She's not very friendly. She will kill you if you cross her. But I felt like if that was the case, if that's what she was doing with her life, then she probably wouldn't have many sewing skills. So, oh gosh, and she's folding back up again. Stay! Alright. She's gonna cross her legs and stand weird. That's okay. So she's got this, like, train at the back of her that comes around into the sash that's supposed to cover her a little bit. And I felt like she would just probably just like find things and tie them to her, and all of my knots are coming undone. So these are all just literally tied to her body. Because I'm like, yes, that's definitely something that a fairy would do, is just find random bits and pieces and tie it to themselves. That still really upsets me. My cat decided to, I don't know if you guys can see, to chew her finger. And that makes me really sad. I don't like my cat for that. Otherwise, she's precious, but she attacked my doll. And they're not cheap. So, thank you for that, cat. Thank you very much. And I believe I've shown this in a previous video, but I thought I'd show you guys again. This is Lyndon. Lyndon and Ainsley. Do they look good together? I think they do. Lyndon just looks so done and tired, and Ainsley's like, hell yeah, I'm ready to party. I'm going out tonight. And Lyndon's like, just let me sleep. Okay? Okay. I'm done. I feel like it was supposed to be the other way around. Ainsley's supposed to be the one being like, nah, bitch, I'm done. And Lyndon's supposed to be the one like, no, come on, Ainsley. Come on, let's go. But the reason why I showed you him is because I am after a body for him. He's finally going to get a body. I've been talking to someone on Instagram. I do not have the funds at the moment, but I am selling... Annoying beeping in the background. But I am selling my Soul Doll Vito body, and there's someone interested in that at the moment. So I'm hoping that I can sell that body and use the funds from that body to buy... Rude. I'm hoping that I can sell the Soul Doll Vito body and use the funds from that to buy a new body for Lyndon, because he does need a new body. I love him. I think he's gorgeous. He's an asshole, but I love him. And the body that I'm looking at is the Granado B Mini body, so the MSD Granado body. And the head does look a little big, but I think it will work. I know my washing has finished. Leave me alone. I think the head does look a little big, but I think it'll work because Lyndon is supposed to be like a hardcore drug dealer. So if he's taking drugs and like messing himself up, and he's not eating properly, and he's not taking care of himself, then I feel like his body would probably suffer, and it'd probably make sense that, you know, he's a little slim, even though that body is quite muscular. With this head on it, it does look small. The resin match isn't that great. The person that I've been talking to has a Soul Doll Vito head in normal skin, and the resin match isn't great, but I think that'll be okay because I don't care about resin matches very much, because they're going to be wearing clothes anyway, and like you'll hardly notice it, and a little bit of blushing here and there, and a little bit of a face-up difference, and you know, you can make it work, so it doesn't really bother me. And I will have to mod the neck, because the neck is a little, I think it's a little big, because the Soul Doll's necks kind of like taper in a little bit when they get to the head, whereas this neck doesn't. So it sits on there fine, but it's just a little big to make it look a little awkward, and it's just a little off, and I don't really like that. But I don't mind modding at all. So I have got a Miro doll 60 centimeter body, and there was a huge, well, I don't know if it was huge, I don't know, I'm not really keeping up to date with everything, but anyway, there was, on Den of Angels, there was an announcement that Miro doll will no longer be on the website, because of their past dolls and their latest doll looking very similar to other companies' dolls and whatnot. Anyway, I've got there's a list of dolls that they put up that is still fine, and is not banned. And one of them is the 60 centimeter body. I have that body with a Simply Divine Richard head, who I believe I have shown off in a video, maybe, I don't know. And I would really like to sell that hybrid, simply because he was supposed to be Ricky, but I don't think I'm actually going to shelve that character, because that character is more of an enigma in my story anyway. He's not supposed to. He's more of like a threat. Like, yes, you meet Ricky. Yes, we see Ricky all the time in the story, and but he's not. I don't feel the need to shell him as a character. Ainsley, Lyndon, maybe Stevie. I don't know if I'll shell her. But Ainsley and Lyndon are my two main characters that I really do feel a need to shell as dolls. And there are so many beautiful dolls out there that I want to buy. And I feel like I'm just looking for an excuse to buy more dolls, and I don't have the funds. I am not rich. I am a poor uni student. And I don't really have a lot of time for my dolls these days, because I'm studying at uni and whatnot, and I've moved houses like 4 times in the past 4 months, and my life has been hectic over this past year, and even last year it was insane. So I feel like it would be a waste of money and effort and time on everyone's behalf if I go out and buy more dolls at the moment. I really feel the need, though. I've been looking at these dolls for a while. The Muscat Faylene. Oh, I love that doll. I love her. I love her. And the merry doll round pygmies, the Moose and Dango. Dango? I think it's Dango. I love them too. I love them too. I think I like the Dango better than the Moose, just because the Moose lips and eyes I feel weird about. I really like them, but I feel like they could have done something different to the eyes, or something different to the lips. I think having both be like unique as they are isn't for me. But the Dango, I really, really adore her little features. But I really love the Muscat Faylene because of her facial features, but I don't like that the body doesn't have a torso joint, which is something that I really like, because I like slouchy dolls. I like dolls that can do things and like move around and like twist and whatnot. So, but I feel like that'd be a very fun little doll to have, like a mature mini. If you have any other suggestions, I know the Limois to you dolls, I think that's what they're called, I'm not sure. They're mature minis, but I like more unique dolls. Something with a little bit of character, a little bit of spunk, something a little bit more unique. But if you have any more suggestions of mature minis, please let me know, because I think after I get Lyndon his body, a mature mini will be my next doll I purchase. Because I don't really feel like shelling the rest of the characters in my novel. I just don't think I will. I have been looking at the Ippelhaus Violet. She was going to be Ainsley, and I adore this sculpt as Ainsley, and I feel like if I buy an Ippelhaus Violet, which I adore the sculpt of, she will always and forever be one of my favourite dolls of all time. I feel like if I buy that doll, little Ainsley here will scream at me and be like, "How dare you?" Or she'll be like, "I want to be that doll," and I don't. And I don't want to do that. I don't want Ainsley to change from this doll because I will never see this sculpt as anything but Ainsley. And I will never see the Ipple House Violet as anything but Ainsley. So I'm like, no, why? But she's come up a few times on the secondhand market, and I've been keeping my eye out and trying to juggle some funds and maybe getting her and just like playing around with her and see if maybe she'll be Stevie. Maybe this girl will be Stevie because I actually have a blonde wig, and Stevie's blonde. I feel like Stevie's definitely blonde. But I also feel like she's tan. I feel like she's like got dyed blonde hair, but she's like got like a dark olive tan skin. 1 second. I have here a blonde wig. I just want to show you guys what it's a little big for this head, but it works okay. But yeah, this is Ainsley with a blonde wig on, and I actually really like her as a blonde. I really like this sculpt with blonde hair. I think it looks really nice. I think it's just like the darker features and the contrast with the light, but I feel like her skin is a little too light. And the wig isn't really on properly, but it's just to give you an idea. But yeah, I don't mind. Can you stop being all glary? I don't really mind this look for Ainsley. I think it's kind of cool, especially from the back and how you've got like this wild hair and just like the dark leather jacket coming through. I think that's cool. But I think she definitely has darker hair. But maybe that could be Stevie's wig if I get an Ipple House Violet. But I think my dolly plans are to, at long last, get Lyndon a body. He's been a floating head for a while. I'm getting some money coming in at the end of next month, so I'm hoping for that body to still be available, or find it again on the secondhand market. So next month, at the end of next month, I'll hopefully be purchasing a body for this guy, and then I will be looking into buying a mature mini when they come up on the secondhand market. But that's all the dolly updates I have for you guys today. These are my two beautiful girls. I love them. I love this one, how weird she is. She's so weird. And I like how punk rock she looks. She wasn't supposed to look that punk. She was just supposed to look done with everything. But it's okay. I love her little smirk. She's got matte lipstick on, which I adore. Anyway, that's all the updates I've got for you guys so far. I will catch you in the next video. See you guys.